So it's a race. We have to figure out who killed Danny before she places me at the crime scene.
It's not a race.
Sounds like a race.
It's a race.
I'm on it.
What is up? Welcome to another episode, Nerds at Night, and we are talking all about the show.
Details matter.
I am your host and the world's most okayest detective, Blake Weather, and let's just get right into it. We're going to recap it. We're going to read some comments from last week. We're going to go over our rules for solving a murder mystery and then go over our suspect list as it applies to this week, because some things change. We got some new reveals and some wheels are in motion. So let's just get right into it real quick. This week, we see Anna. She's basically looking for her wife, Layla, the whole episode, doesn't know where she's at, and also trying to close the deal with the Chuns. She's willing to do anything to do it. What does that mean? I don't really know. We got Imogene. She's teaming up with Detective Coatsworth, and they are trying to solve this one step at a time. She gets with the ship's owner and goes through the files of the Colliers to try and see if she can find some sort of connection to her mom's death. We also got Trip. He ain't really did nothing this episode besides beat up his room. We got the priest and Mama Collier, and they was caught doing a little, the little naked tango in the bath by Anna. We also have the Interpol agent Hildy. She's interviewing everybody, and she's already strongly suspecting that somebody in the crew had something to do with it. We've got this revelation that Jules might have a brother. He might have some family. He's also into some shit with Layla, and they on some, underground railroad stuff going on underneath the boat, and they're doing some shady shit, and we don't really know what it is, but it looks suspicious. We also have Teddy, Weenie, and Eleanor. Those are their names, the granddaughters of Grandma Chun. And I don't know, still in this episode, they're still trying to figure out stuff. Eleanor's trying to handle the business deal with Anna. Winnie and Teddy are definitely trying to just keep all of the staff and all of the crew calm, keep themselves calm, because I don't know, maybe one of them knows a little something. We don't really know. And then by the end of it, we see Anna gets into some shit and sort of gets caught up in the secret clubhouse in the bottom of the boat. So what's going to happen to her? I don't know, but we're going to see next week. But let's talk about what we actually gleaned from this episode, because there was a lot of little tidbits that I think will lead on to who actually did it, which is exactly what we're trying to solve for. But before we can solve for it, let us go through our rules for solving a murder mystery and sort of compartmentalize and put everything in its own box. So that way we can take any of the clues that we got this week and sort of put them to good use, or to the most efficient use possible. So what are our rules? Rule number 1, got to have suspects. Rule number 2, we always got to have some clues. Rule number 3, who had the motive? Rule number 4, who had the opportunity? And always bonus, rule number 5, who are our red herrings? Let's go through our suspect list of what I have so far. And again, always want to hear anything that you have as far as theories, comments, any notes that I might have missed. So already from me from last week, the suspects that I had were Teddy, Eleanor, Weenie. We had to figure out, right, who knew the boat, who could fit into the bar cart. One of them 3 really does know the boat. One of them 3 could have easily have fit into it. Also, not that he's a suspect, but it's kind of weird. The lawyer, he's missing in this episode, the whole episode. Anna's looking for him. He's in somebody's closet. What has he been up to? Did he have something to do with it? Does he know something? Was he there that night? He's sort of arisen on my suspect list a little bit higher. He hasn't been interviewed by Coatsworth, and he's nowhere to be found. I don't know. That's kind of suspicious. The dad, what's the dad doing, man? Handing off his briefcase. We know what's in the briefcase now. It's paperwork, and he was seen handing that off at around 1:37 in a hallway to, I believe it was Eleanor. So what's going on there? What did he do afterwards? He's arisen on my suspect list. He's a little bit lower, but you never really, we don't know till we know, until he's interviewed, till we figure out some little clues about what he's been through. We don't really know. Also, where's that damn TikTok kid? We still haven't seen a whole bunch from him. What's he hiding? He's all over TikTok and doing all kind of crazy social media shit with all the kids, doing all the trendy dances and everything. But what does he know? Did he record something? He's gone down on my suspect list, but I definitely think he comes into play somehow, and it's going to have to do with his phone. Keep an eye on him. Now, I know the Interpol agent Hildy, she would like you to believe it was Imogene, because from A to B, what is the shortest distance between two objects? It's a straight line, and the straight line points to Imogene doing it, right? It makes it logically, she is in the room. Did she actually do it? Did they not show us what was going on the camera, and they just sort of cut that, and then we're supposed to see that as a grand reveal in the end? Like, just because they showed you something on camera doesn't mean you know the full, right, the full picture of like what all happened. It's just showing you what they want you to see. It's like a magic trick, right? And almost for a second, Imogene went on my list. And then I saw this little bit. She has an iPhone. And if you know anything about iPhones and movies and TV shows, bad guys cannot have iPhones. Somebody who is a villain cannot have an iPhone. She can't have an iPhone if she did it. That automatically removes her from the list. Don't let them scam you. Don't let them turn the mirror and be like, oh, really? Is this? It's not what it is. This is all for show, right? She did not do it. The iPhone says she didn't do it. We just go with that rule. We're going to have to use some outside rules. We should add that rule number 6, right? You got an iPhone. You didn't do it. Now, don't worry. I glossed over a few things, little tidbits from this episode, but I wanted to save those because one of the comments that we got from last week really goes into sort of a new theory, sort of a new tangent that I want to explore that could really come into play as the season goes on. This comment comes from Tigger24471. She says, I think the little sister who showed up late to work on episode 1 killed the guy. And the mom of the family who took in Imogene killed her mother. The little sister would fit into the cart easily and knew the layout and had motive. And Imogene's dad is probably Anna's dad, which would give Anna's mother motive and explains why they were so quick to take in Imogene when her mother was killed. Whoa. What? I do love that the little sister, the Winnie, right? I think that's who she's referring to. She was late to the meeting. But this meeting happened before Keith Trubinsky died. But still, she's on the right track because I do think Winnie, she's very high on my suspect list. She does know her way around the boat. She's small enough to fit into the bar cart. It fits. Like it sort of, the shoe fits. And also, I love the theory about Anna's dad being Imogene's dad. Like, that's nice. That's cool. Whether it plays out or that's where we need to be thinking about, right? These outside the box, like, what if, right? We got to think of Marvel. What if, like, what if this could happen? I don't really, because in murder mysteries, it's always like this, what if this, it's a kind of outlandish, but not out of the realm of believable. And that's a little outlandish, but it's not out of the realm of believable. That's why they took her in. It makes sense. And I've suspected that Anna's mom, Miss Collier, was the one who blew up Imogene's mom. I think she was the one responsible for that. Could be the dad too. Could be he's in on it. I don't know. But I feel like it's just too easy. It's just too easy to make him a killer of any. It's too easy to make him a killer, but it's not too easy where he had some sort of part to play and something to do with it. So I love that. I love that, Tigger24471. Keep doing your thing. I look forward to hearing from you. Our next one comes from Jillian Cooper 2720. In the first episode, I'm getting the feeling that Imogene has a twin sister. I noticed while watching the scene on the boat dock, there's an employee standing to the left edge of the bar, just standing there. She is the only employee wearing a hat in the area and doesn't seem to be doing any task other than watching the guests. Also, the woman has short blonde hair like Imogene's hair. Another thing that leads me down the twin theory is the whole speech that Imogene had with the captain about things being different, even if they look the same. I also could be looking too deep into this, but the employee stood out to me, and she wasn't seen during any other scenes or any of the scenes where the crew was assembled. Interesting. I love that. I love the twin theory, and I love that this was brought up, especially before this episode, because there's two moments in this episode. There's something that alludes to twins, right? So the first instance is when Grandma Chun is watching her soap opera. And if you notice the brothers, they look like twins and they're fighting over a woman. And one takes a knife and one stabs the other one. That's really interesting. Also, knives show up a lot in this episode. Layla steals a knife from the little ice bucket. Why is a knife in an ice bucket? I don't really know. I don't know. Somebody write in the comments why you keep a knife on ice. Also, too, Layla had a knife 4 months ago, right? She was like, she kept a knife under the bed. Why does this girl like knives? Why is there so many knives? Also, again, back to the soap opera that Grandma Chan was watching, knife is pulled out, right? Also, too, when Anna's trying to eat her breakfast, she's like, I need a knife. Where's the goddamn knife? That's 4 things that are pointed to knives. Like, that's crazy. Also, the twin thing. Let's go back to the twin thing. So we got the twins on the soap opera. And then when they go through Jules's room and they go through his picture, if you look, he looks like he has a brother, but that brother kind of looks like a twin. What's up with the twins? There's all this, we're alluding to twins, or this is, this dualism, right? Like, I don't know, but I really like that theory. And I'm wondering if when Grandma Chen was watching her soap opera, there's not some sort of little nugget to pick up on with what they're saying and with what's going on, and maybe that plays at the end of the movie. I want to point to a scene from another murder mystery called Gosford Park. And I just want to play that for you real quick.
Right, no, but I think it's clear that it's the valet who did it. He takes care of people. He's in their rooms at night. But I mean, he could do it. I mean, the valet easily could have done it.
Now, that line has something to do with what happens in the movie. Yes. Hopefully you still want to see that movie. That didn't ruin it for you too much, because I'm not saying who it was. And also, even when you think you know who it was, there's still another plot twist has nothing to do with that line. But I think murder mysteries are clever like that. They'll put a little bonus in there if you're able to catch it, if you're able to snip it out and be like, this unravels the whole mystery. This is perfect. If I know what I'm looking for, if I'm paying attention to it, I think that there's something there. What is it? Write in the comments. I don't know. I need to think about it a little bit, about what they said, right? Where the brothers are fighting. What's going on there? But I bet you that has like maybe something to do with what happens at the end, or it plays out that way. There's two twins and they got to stab somebody, right? Well, one's got to stab the other because one's doing bad, right? If that plays out, we called it here. We called it here on Nerds at Night First. You called it with us, and so did Jillian Cooper 2720. So you go, Jillian Cooper. So yeah, there's so many little tidbits going on. There's so much out of this episode that, again, it's trying to make you look this way and that way. And like I told you in the last episode, they're going to do a lot of stuff that distracts you from the main point of who killed Keith Trubinsky, right? And I think by introducing Layla and Jules and being in this sort of, again, they got this underground clubhouse going on where they're hanging out. I don't know what they're plotting. I don't know what they're doing. I do think maybe as soon as I saw that she got rope and do they have the lawyer? Did they put the lawyer in remember the lawyer was in the closet in the last episode. He had a little gag ball. He's either with them, they're like trying to get some information out of him, or I think he's in Tripp's closet. He's in one of the two. He's with one of the two people. I don't think the dad has him in the closet. The dad needs him to try and just like be his barrier between people, because he already doesn't want to talk to the detective. He barely wants to talk to people. He's kind of elusive. So having a lawyer, having a buffer, yeah, you need all that. But I don't think that Jules having dual passports, all these different, he's some sort of, low-key secret agent spy, or just some sort of international crime guy or whatever. I don't think that really has anything to do with the murder, directly. Just because he's doing some shady shit, that doesn't mean he killed somebody. So don't believe that. It's probably, though, what happens in murder mysteries is like that plot intersects with another plot that has to do with the murder. It's indirect. It's around, right? It's around the orbit of it. But I don't think Layla or him, I think they're slightly off my list a little bit, or at least Layla. Jules was never on my list. There's no way he could have done it unless he had a twin that was hiding in now I'm saying that. Now I'm like, well, hiding in the little thing. Could he fit? I don't know. Maybe. So that brings up an interesting theory, but I don't think them two directly. I don't think that they're kind of now low on the totem pole on my suspect list, which is why I didn't bring them up this week. So yeah, that's what I got so far. What did y'all pick up from this week? Was there something? Was there a big clue that I missed? I know I went sort of kind of through, I went through the things that really stuck out to me, but if there's something that I missed, definitely write it in the comments if you think it's going to be super important to solving this case, or if you have your own theory about somebody who may have committed the crime. Drop it. I definitely want to read it next week, and I want to look out for it when the next episode drops. Also, if you didn't see last week's episode, you're just now catching up with Death and Other Details. Feel free to go back and watch it. And new episodes will be dropping every Wednesday morning. The show comes out Monday evening. I need a little time with. I'm not a robot. I need a little time with. I got a son. Like he just got born in November. Like yeah, I got to spend some time with him. So naturally, though, I will have these episodes out every Wednesday morning. Hopefully that's not too late for y'all. That gives y'all time to watch it. Who wants to be up watching until 11, 12? I do it. I got nothing better to do, and I have enough time to wake up for work. But maybe y'all don't. So y'all catch it Tuesday, and then you catch the recap and the breakdown. We're going to try and solve this case. Y'all catch that on Wednesday morning. So I look forward to seeing you every Wednesday up until the time that this show ends, and hopefully we can solve the crime together. I know I missed some stuff. I know I didn't go over everybody. The priest and the governor, like, bro, do we really need to talk about them? The priest got found out with you sleeping with Mama Collier, and the governor, she just sort of laid some little lines here and there, but there was not a whole bunch of stuff going on. I really am liking Coatsworth. He's really sort of chill, really witty. He's being a typical detective. I love it. And I think we're supposed to not like Agent Hildy. She's a little sassy. She's a little sassy and very stern. I don't want her to be my detective, but I'm like, okay, she adds a little bit of pressure to the situation. So let's try and solve this case before the end of the season and before Agent Hildy solves it. So again, look forward to hearing from all of y'all about any theories that y'all have, any of y'all's comments. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Look out for me next Wednesday. And if you guys can't get enough murder mysteries, go ahead and check out my murder mystery review series. I have a whole bunch of movies that I've reviewed so far and another one dropping this week. So check that out in the meantime. But for now, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, and I appreciate y'all tuning in. And whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this, I always appreciate you. And until next week, I will see you. Peace.